Since I've last seen you, I finished porn. All of it, not some of it. I didn't just go certain genres. I thought, you know what? I'm going to knuckle down and finish it all. And I did. It was drenching work, but I did it. And here I am to tell you that straight people, you're sick. Because honestly, porn is a straight people's game. It's not for lesbians. But I thought, I want to go see what you are into. And you're sick, sick people. And horny too. There's no one more horny in the straight people category than step families. You know how horny step families are. You know, you filthy bastard. Step families come out horny. I started watching it and I thought, like, stepmothers are like washing machines from the 1980s. They take load after load after load. Just shake a little at the end and then there it goes. Step-sisters, not very bright people. Everyone has to teach them a lesson. You know, because I do this job, so then I always get people who slide into my DMs, not with any dick pics or the decency of a nice pair of tits, no. I always get the requests going, hey, we're coming to your show tonight, and we're bringing the whole family. And I'm bringing someone that's really close to my heart, that actually changed my life, and I was wondering if you could do a little shout out to my stepmom. I'm like, look, I'm not giving that whore a shout out. You take her home and stop fucking your stepbrother, all right? You stop it, you dirty slag. I realised that not all avocados are the same. You don't know till you know. Like, you know, when you buy avocados, it's top of mind the whole time. Like, if you've got avocados at home, you're thinking about it right now. Any other fruit and veg, you don't give a shit. The kids will go, the potatoes look weird, put it in the bin. Who gives a shit? The avocado, you will sift through the green bits with it. Oh, we can save that. You have half a teaspoon of avocado, go, we can still make the guacamole. Just need 14 kilograms of tomatoes. But you know the lifespan where that avocado is, because it's almost like days of our lives with the avocado. Because when you're ready for the avocado, it's not ready for you. And when it's ready for you, you're not home. The avocado will usually give you roughly 10 seconds from when it's ripe to when it's ruined. Right? Let avocado go, hey, I'm ready, 10, 9, 8, I lied, I'm rotten. But you don't know how much you know about something till you see what other people know about stuff. Like, I really got into TikTok in a very big way, right? In a big way, like 8 hours a day. And I don't have a job. So then, and I don't work out. It just frees up a lot of your day. And I saw that I was doing avocados wrong. But I used to just have the basic approach to avocado, like someone born in the 70s, right? You cut it open, you whip it up, take the pip out, take a spoon, another spoon, there's your avocado. But then I saw on TikTok, people do it different. They peel the avocado, then they take a knife and they slice it like that, then they put it on a plate and they... And now there's little slices that you can put on a cracker with some cheese and shit, and it's real fancy. And I'm like, I'm going to be a fancy one too. So I got some of those avocados and I peeled them. And my avocados didn't look like their avocados, because my avocados had black spots all over them. And then I thought, uh-oh, my avocados are diseased. But they weren't diseased at all, were they? No, my avocados had fingerprints on them. Because my community would go out to the supermarket and squeeze the shit out of all of the avocados to see if they're ripe or not. So all those black spots are fingerprints. That avocado has been fingered so much. If if that was a human being, you wouldn't marry it. Yeah, I just slut-shamed an avocado. I don't give a shit. I just thought, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. The change starts with us. You've heard Oprah say it. Now I'm saying it to you. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to start doing some volunteer work at my local supermarket. Out of the goodness of my own heart, I would go to the supermarket and I would take one of those little trolleys so I can move quickly, right? And I would just patrol the produce section. I tell you, if you want to learn things about people, like people go, I love going to the mall, I love to just people watch. Go to the produce section. Your mind will be blown. You cannot believe the people who live in your community. So I take the trolley and I parade up and down that produce section and I just watch people. And if I see anyone squeeze an avocado, I follow them. And I will be patient. We can be 4, 5 aisles down. And if there's anyone, like, they go to get some olive oil, I'll sneak up to their trolley and I squeeze the shit out of everything in their trolley. I'll even snap the spaghetti in half. Yeah. I'm an animal. For the next 2 weeks, every time they use anything, I want them to go, this is ruined too. We're never going back to that supermarket. Like, good bitch, go somewhere else. Go ruin shit somewhere else. It's fascinating watching people in the produce section. Do you know how many people sniff fruit? Especially pineapples. What are you, like one of those glucose dogs that the diabetics use? What the fuck is happening with you? No, and it doesn't matter what they sniff or squeeze, it's always the third one that's going in the trolley. No, go! Those are the same people who will knock on a melon. Have you seen these people? Have you seen these animals? The best is they wait for a response. I just want to sneak up behind them and go, help me. I tell you what has happened. COVID came in and stole my fuckable years. Yeah, you don't know. You think you know everything, but you don't. Like, when COVID hit, I was in my mid-40s, which is a very fuckable age. It's a very fuckable age. That's when women start going through their sexual prime. That's why we have cougars, right? I'm just saying that's how cougars were invented, right? Because we go through our sexual prime. But then COVID came and went, hang on! Even if you watch porn, everyone wants to fuck a MILF, right? But then COVID came, took my mid-40s and went with it. Now I'm nearly 50. That's not sexy. That's hot. Oh, it's hot. Woo, she is hot. She is hot. She is clammy. She is sad. She is happy. She is angry. She is fuck you. That's what she is. Do you hear that clapping? Those are bitches that'll kill you. Menopause is Latin for activate kill switch. Which reminds me, not everything you're going to hear in here tonight is factual. No, I am hot, but I tell you what I have discovered, which my mind was never open to before, but it is open to it now, is linen. I know, do you hear that? Like when you're young and your tits still fit, you don't know the importance of linen. You're not even open to talking about fabrics. You just got this fucking mixed polyester. I get a hot flush just thinking about your shit. I should have been more open to it. My best friend is 8 years older than me. I'll go over and visit. She's making the bed. She goes, come and sit with me. I'm making the bed. I'm like, what fresh hell is this? Why are your sheets so rough? And she goes, those are linen sheets. And I'm like, they're awful. How do you fuck on that? Doesn't that ruin your knees and the back of your neck? And she'll go, what? Nothing. But now I realize it's not about fucking. It's about sleeping through the night. You just want to wake up in the morning well rested, because you don't do that anymore. You wake up 3 o'clock with a puddle of sweat in your left eye, then 5 o'clock with a puddle of sweat in your right eye. We never sleep through the night anymore. We talk to other middle-aged women like we used to when our kids were babies. Did you sleep through the night? Were you dry when you woke up? No, I fucking wasn't. I wear mum linen pants when I go pick the kids up at school, and all the other mums are wearing exactly the same pants. You know those mum linen pants that don't go to the ankle or the calf, they just there. Those pants are a miracle of nature. When you put linen pants on, they're so tight in the morning, it looks like you're going to yoga. We all drop the kids off and now yoga linen pants. Bye! Then we go straight home and we sit on the couch next to all the washing that we're definitely not folding today. And we watch a crime documentary while we're eating all the snacks that we bought for their school lunch boxes. And something magical happens when you sit down in linen, right? You apply pressure to the knees and the arse. And the minute you apply pressure to linen, it poofs out. So now when you stand up, it's just knees and arse on those. By the time you go pick up the kids, because 6 hours during a school day goes like that. You're like, I think I was in a coma for half of that. Then you go pick up the kids in your white-ass pants. No matter how you're kicking them, you're never going to kick fabric. You line up with all the other mums. And I'm like, hey. Because I try not to talk to them because I despise other mums. I have nothing to say to these bitches. I just cannot. Because, you know, it's always the ones that want to talk to you that have this voice. Hey! I can't match that energy. I try, hey! I sound like I'm about to kill one of them. And those are usually the ones that call other mums, mum. Have you heard this? Hey, mums! I have a very simple rule. Unless you sucked on my tits, don't call me mum. It's a basic, simple rule. Have you sucked on my tits? No, don't call me mum. So that leaves half of Johannesburg. Some people are... This mum makes small talk and she goes, how great are those pants? I'm like, yeah, pants. She goes, you know, they're so versatile. You can actually use them to drain cauliflower. If I ever follow a recipe that requires me to take my pants off to drain anything, I'm going to go ahead and get the kids some pizza that night. My fuckable years are gone. I can't. I'm so hot all the time. I want to kill all the time. And COVID wouldn't fuck off. It made us more alert, don't you think? Like we're more in tune with our spidey senses. I'm more prone to say, ah, now than I ever were before. Especially when you get a call from your mother-in-law and she goes, I think I'll come visit. Ah! Because I'm still so tuned in to snap lockdowns. I'm not risking that bitch staying with me. Can you imagine that nightmare? I got caught out because my mother lives with my sister in Christchurch, which is on the South Island of New Zealand, and I live in Auckland, which is on the North Island, which is nice and far away from them. We have to fly to see each other, which is perfect. I love my family a flight away. But then, after that 4 months that we have to stay in lockdown, my sister rang me and she went, hey! You know when a call starts like that, it's not positive. She goes, you're going to have to take Mum for a bit. And I said, look, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I said, and next time you and I are in the same city, let's sit down and chat about the visit. And she goes, chat about the visit? Mum's on a plane. You have to pick her up at 4. I'm like, that bitch reverse Uno carded me so hard. She goes, she's on a plane. You're picking her and Oscar up at 4. Damn it. Because you can't not pick up your mum. I tried. She's got my number. So I go pick up my mum and Oscar. Now, my mum is my mum, and Oscar is her ginger cat. And he travels everywhere with her like he's a Labrador, but he's not, so he hates it. So they come and visit me. That night that they arrive, Auckland goes into a snap lockdown for 4 months. Look, I don't care how much you love your mum, but 4 months is 3.5 months too long. That first week when your mum comes to visit, it's amazing, right? You're cooking, you're baking, you're gossiping. You're like, shit, I have missed you. This is great. Because your mum has all the good gossip, because she still takes everyone's phone calls. You started filtering that shit 22 years ago. You're like, I'm not talking to these freaks. Your mum is still on top of everyone. So she said, you know, Cousin Dean? Yes, I fucking do. What's he up to? You know, tell me everything. Oh, you know what's wrong with your sister? Tell me what's wrong with that slut. Then the second week, she's with you. You go, oh, you're the reason we're all in therapy. Now I know. Then from the third week she was with me, it was just me pacing up and down to the mailbox going, just because I can doesn't mean I should. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. I'm like, I'm putting this bitch in a home. And not in a good one, in one of those one-star homes. You know, where they eat dog food and gravy. Like, my mum's going to be on a 60-minute expose. She's going to be famous on TV. But then my mum says to me at the end of week 3, she goes, hey, you have to come with me to the vet. My heart sank because I knew we're going to get this cat euthanized, right? Even if it wasn't time, it was time. Now, I can see some of you already tensing up. Hear me out. This is a very, very elderly cat. Very elderly cat. Like, every childhood memory that I've ever had includes this cat. And I'm nearly 50. There's a photo of my sister's house of me on my very first day of school, just standing there with my little school bag and my hair in pigtails, and that cat is sitting next to me, just looking at me. I remember the day that cat joined our family. I was about 3 years old. I was riding my trike in the driveway, and this adult cat walked into the driveway, and he just took the cigarette out. And he said, hey, little girls, your mum home? And then they became soulmates. And okay, that last bit isn't true, but that cat is fucking old, is what I'm saying. And he smoked Gunston Plain, like he's an old cat. But more than his age, it was time to have him euthanized, because every night while we were watching the news, my mum and I would just sit on opposite couches, and that cat would come through, scraping his asshole on my brand new carpet that I had put in 2 weeks before they arrived. He would scrape his asshole from one bit of the lounge to the other bit while making eye contact with me the whole time, like in slow motion, like he's at the Winter Olympics. I knew it was personal, because not once did he just look at my mum and go, what do you reckon? No. He was only looking at me, and I'll say to my mum, do you see this shit? Literally, do you see this shit? He's putting GT stripes all over my fucking lounge. So it's time for him to go. But my bigger concern than the cat having to be euthanized is I'm not the emotional support daughter. That's my sister. Because I'm not a crier. I never developed a taste for it. You know how some people can cry? Like my sister goes dolphin for everything. You know, when there's anything emotional... We're at a restaurant and the waitress brings like an extra plate of dessert and we go, we didn't order that. And she'll go, oh, I made a mistake, you just have that on me. And my sister's like, look, we all like tiramisu. Calm down. But I also knew I couldn't, after having this cat for nearly 40 years, just go in. I'm spitballing. Like it's not in the Guinness Book of World Records. I couldn't just go with my mum to the vet and go, well, that's that. I knew I had to put on a face for it. Now, I've seen sadness, I've seen criers, right? And if you're not a crier, here's a hot tip for you. If you want to look like you're real sad, close your eyes a little bit, show some teeth, and if you really want to pull off the emotions, just tilt your head back. Not fucking hard at all, is it? You want to go deep, like Oprah deep, rub their backs. So I'm in the bathroom practicing that. But truth be told, if I'm going to open up to you here tonight, the God's honest truth is I thought we could deal with this little situation ourselves. What? What? Don't grab your face, what? Like, okay, fuck it. I can see I'm dealing with some suburban fucking softies here. You would have known that I grew up on a farm in South Africa. And we deal with this shit ourselves. You don't want to pester a vet to have them euthanize an elderly cat in Africa? You're wasting his fucking time. He's busy putting mascara on a giraffe. You think they look that good by themselves? No. So how we do it, when you have you just have a bucket of water filled to the top. Fucking listen first. Stop writing those angry emails in your head. This could be a teachable moment. I'm opening the door to a new thing you didn't know. You can go, well, that's interesting. Let's not do that. Or, fuck, that's interesting. How big a bucket do we need to get for Uncle Jim? You know? Just open your minds, is what I'm saying. You have a bucket of water, you fill it to the top, and you have a lid for said bucket. Whenever there's anything on the farm that's creating a bit of a pest, like rats, mice, poisonous snakes that won't fuck off, pop them in the bucket, put the lid on. At the end of the week, you just drain the water, you biff everything what's inside in the fire pit. You're done for. You have a nice marshmallow barbecue. What's your problem? What? What? Got to roast those marshmallows on something. So I thought we could do it ourselves. Now I can feel in this room, you're leaning more towards taking that cat to a vet. Am I reading the situation correctly? Yes, yes. All right, you pack of softies. Make some noise if you would rather take the cat to the vet to be euthanized. Yeah, all right. Fucking softies. Now, I'm just going to take you through your way of doing it. Because I'm an equal opportunity comic. I don't just want to talk about my way. You know, we're in this together, right? So here we go. We're going to take our elderly cat to the vet to be euthanized as per your request. So what's going to happen? Your vet will say, hey, don't give that cat anything to eat or drink after 10 o'clock at night. Like vomiting the next day is going to be your cat's biggest issue. It's going to meet Jesus. But you listen because you respect the vet, so you don't give it anything to eat or drink. Then the next morning, that elderly cat of yours wakes up and he goes, fuck, I am famished. He goes in the kitchen. Is there food or water for him? No, because you're listening to the vet. What does he see? The travel cage. Does your cat like the travel cage? Shit, no! Because cats never go anywhere fun because they're not dogs. If your Labrador sees the cage, it's like, fuck yeah, holiday! Your cat sees the travel cage and goes, fuck no, something on my ass! Because what happens when you put that cat in that travel cage, which, for the record, your cat does not want to go in that travel cage, it's easier to give your cat a tablet in the bath than to put it in that fucking travel cage. So you have to put it in there, then you take that travel cage to the vet. The vet will then take that cat to the back room where he puts it on a table, then pulls that cat out and puts its naked little ass on an ice-cold stainless steel table. He then takes something and ram it up your cat's ass and then go, this cat is getting fat. Now, if I said to you, I'm going to come round to your house tomorrow morning, I'm going to take you and ram you aggressively into a cage and then take you to a strange man who will take you into a back room, who will then put your naked ass on an ice-cold stainless steel table, then ram something up your ass without a thought of slowly rubbing it first, and then say, you're getting fat, you won't fucking like it. Now, I used to say, nobody fucking likes that, but then people started sending me links of people fucking liking that. Because apparently there's literally a link for everything online. So most people won't like that, and your cat does not like that. Then your vet will have to find a vein in your cat because he has to pump poison into it. Because remember, he's murdering your cat. I mean, euthanizing. Let's not forget why we are there, okay? He will then start looking for a vein, but he's not going to find one because your cat's dehydrated, because you haven't given it any food or water since 10 o'clock the previous night. So the vet is now going ding, 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 and he can't find a vein. Eventually, your weak elderly cat will go, fuck, put me in a bucket. Personally, I think the whole thing is quite inhumane the way you people do it. Now come with me. Come with me on my journey with a bucket. The bucket and the cat will be out as a scholastic book later in the year. Just waiting to hear back. Struggling to find an illustrator, actually. So we're going to euthanize our own cat. So make sure you've got the bucket, you fill it to the top with water, you've got the lid standing right next to it, put it outside on the porch or wherever. Let's not refer to the bucket again. We're focusing on joy now. Your cat will wake up in the morning, it's sleeping on your bed, you wait for it to wake up, and then you go next to the bed and you put your face and that soft little bit on the side of their belly and you go, I love you, Oski, I love you, I love you. And then when that cat twitches, you better move. Because even with the last bit of energy, they can still rip your spleen out. So you move quickly. That cat then gets up, follows you to the kitchen, looks, and on the floor you've got all of these high sodium dishes that you're not supposed to give the cat, cheddar, whatever fucking once you've got it there, raw mince, whatever, it's all there. You even get that can of cream out of the fridge that your vet told you 22 years ago not to give to that cat because it's going to shorten his life, but that vet died 9 years ago. So have it, Oski. Even if that cat vomits on the carpet, it doesn't matter. Because if you're smart like me, you're a planner, you've already booked the carpet cleaner to come in the late afternoon. Then you cuddle the cat, you play with it, you get everyone who's ever met that cat to come over to play with it, the kids are playing with it. I even start the fire. It's too hot for the fire, but I do it because the cat likes it. He's just lying in front of the fire going, fuck, this is the best day of my life. This is amazing. And I hold the cat, I'm like, I love you so much, Oski, you're the best. The bucket's ready. You're the best. Your cat's like, this is the best day of my he's in the bucket. Your cat has never been in a bucket. He's like, fuck, am I at a spa? Look, he's dead. Now, here's a pro tip though. Pro tip, if you've never done it, if your cat is fighting so much that you have to sit on that lid to keep it on, it's not ready to go. It's not ready to go. Then it's like grandma. If she can fight the pillow off, she gets one more Christmas. Now, don't write me angry emails. None of that happened. I was just thinking that as I was looking at myself in the mirror, being sad. I went with my mum to the vet. I had to put that cat in that travel cage. I had to ram him in so hard it looked like a fucking platypus by the time we got there. We get to the vet takes the cat, walks him into the back. Mum and I follow. I tried looking sad in the car, but she wasn't paying attention. We get in. As we get to the door, my mum leans to me and she goes, pay attention. What? You know when someone says something, you go, was that to me? Who are you talking? I didn't because when will I ever need that skill set again? All right. So I just followed her in, and I was standing next to her, and I was being sad for her. And I even did the seance. And but my mum was really annoyed with me for some reason, and she kept going, I didn't know what that meant. And then every time I looked at her, she I still didn't know what that meant. Then my mum got so pissed, she said to me in Afrikaans, so that the vet wouldn't understand, she goes, go and stand on the other side of the vet and pay attention. Now, I said that in English. You don't suddenly speak Afrikaans. I don't want you to think that we had this bond now. This weird trauma bond that now you speak an additional language. I did this so everyone could understand. So I then stood on the other side of the vet, which I didn't understand because I was just saying arsehole and elbows on this side. I was no good to her at all. She looks at me, she looked a little bit happier. The vet grabs the cat and starts squeezing its asshole, and shit popped out of that cat. In that moment, I regretted not floating the bucket idea. So I'm like, how are we killing this cat? They are literally squeezing the shit out of him. Yeah, I was pretty upset when I saw it. Full disclosure, I blacked out a little bit. I didn't even know that I'd blacked out a little bit because it was one of those things, you know, when you fall asleep on the plane, but you don't know you're asleep till you hear. It was one of those scenarios, but when I came back in the room, it was like that. And I tell you, that cat was matching my energy. He was not into it either. Like, I'd say even less into it than me. Like, we were not liking what was happening to his butthole. And I don't want to come across as a hero here, but I was about to rip that vet off that cat. Like, I was going to step in. Like, and then he just dabbed his little asshole with a little handkerchief, which I'm pretty sure he put in his pocket after. I didn't see where it went, but I didn't see it again. Then he put the cat back in the travel cage, and can I just tell you, that cat went willingly. Not a tense muscle left in him. He's like, I'll go. He then got back in the cage, and the vet looks at my mum and goes, I'll see you in 6 weeks, and walks out. I couldn't believe it. My mum looks at me, she goes, did you see? Did I see? I said, Mum, that's a core memory for me now. Next time I'm on a plane and I'm not allowed to go on my phone, I'm going to be seeing that in high def over and over. I go, that was a lot. And she goes, did you pay attention? I go, to everything. And I tell you what, we're going to the police right now. I'm not letting that pervert touch another pet as long as I can help it. My mum said, so where was he squeezing? I go, right in the asshole. She goes, I told you to pay attention. Like, if the cat's butthole was a clock, what time was he squeezing? I said, I think it was a digital clock. I was shocked. She goes, this is disappointing. I told you to pay attention because I think we can do this at home. No! No! Fuck no! I said, you're not doing this in my home. I said, let's not penny pinch on this one. I'm happy to pay for a brand new asshole for this cat. We can get an asshole transplant for this cat. You don't hear about it often, but you can get it done. Like, there's a lot of cyclist assholes on the road now. Because they fall so hard, their assholes just fall out, and you can get one of those. They're pretty tight. I was fucking shocked. We went back home in silence. Like, I did not. We got home, and the kids were so stoked to see that cat. Because on the down low, I did tell the kids, say goodbye to this cat, you're never seeing it again. And when we're gone, get rid of the bucket and let the carpet guy in. So when we got home, the kids are so happy. My daughter's like, it's a miracle. She says, I want to be a vet one day. I went, no, you don't. No, you don't. I said, you get freaked out when you see the goldfish float around with that bit of poop behind him. And can we just agree? Come on, goldfish, fucking snap it off already. They must have the weakest assholes on the planet. It's like the week after Mardi Gras. Come on, man, snap it. I shudder to think what a vet would have done to a goldfish in that scenario. Holy shit. Quickly make some noise. Any vets in the room tonight? No, because they're at home washing their hands. I tell you what I found fascinating during that whole COVID thing. You know, that 4 months where we had to be away. They were showing us all the stats, right? Like the pollution, how the pollution has just fucked off, and how the rivers were running clear. We could see the fish again, and everything was just better. And I'm like, hang on, they're making it look like we're the problem. I don't think I like that one bit, because it seems fucking true. But the one thing that really stood out for me was the stat that Google released. And they said that globally, we were all sort of looking up very similar things across, you know, every language. Our top 10 things were very similar, but the number one thing globally matched up in every country. Isn't that fascinating? Do you want to guess what we were Googling while we were in lockdown?
Porn.
Who the fuck Googles porn? You can literally just type in fucking and you will see fucking. I love how confident that was. Porn, like he doesn't have a little bookmark for Pornhub and his preference in there. Come on, porn. No one Googles porn. What else do you want to guess?
Baking.
Baking? No. I mean, it was in the top 10. What was the other thing?
Linen.
Linen? Close, but no. The number one thing that we were looking up globally was how to legally separate from a partner. Isn't that fascinating? In countries you've never been to, in languages you don't speak, there are people sitting in their lounges having the same thoughts as you, like, how do I get rid of this dickhead? I was blown away. They had spikes in South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia, like off the charts since records began of people filing for legal separation and or divorce. Isn't that fantastic? No, I mean, statistically you go, wow, that's really fascinating. Like, I was blown away by how many people had just gone, this thing plus this marriage is too much. Just quickly, if I could just for my own benefit, just make some noise in this room if you are still with a partner that you went into this pandemic with. Did you hear that, Joy? Woo! Can I just tell you, that's not where joy comes from. You didn't even use your throats. You could have achieved that level of joy with your mouth open outside on a windy day. There was no joy in that note. Make some noise if you manage to get rid of a partner during this pandemic. You hear that snore? And they're tired. They're tired because they've been fucking. I was blown away by that stat. Now, of course, I'm no relationship expert, but can I just say, I think it's important to stay emotionally fluid. Which, you should separate often. Don't stay with the same partner for too long. I don't understand when people do that, where they're like, you know, if you're about to get married, people are going to say, marriage is hard. Why? That should be the easy part. The other shit, like merging, should be hard. Not marriage. That should be easy. Making a souffle is hard. Marriage should be easy because you can talk to that fucknut. And they should take on board your words. But there's actual dangers with staying with someone for too long. You know that. You know there's actual dangers. Eventually you're going to look just like them. I don't care how hot you think your partner is. Look at him and go, do you want to look like that one day? When last have you visited your parents? I walk in, my mum's at the sink doing the dishes, and I go, hey mum, where's that photo album? And my dad turns around and I'm like, ah! And he hits me with a, who's got dementia now? Still you, motherfucker! I can't tell the difference from behind because they both have long flat bums in linen pants with short grey hair. It's impossible. Like from the front it's easier because my dad's got bigger tits than my mum. That's not the only risk. You know, if you've been with someone for so many years, you know, those people who stay married for like 50, 60, 70 years, there's huge risk in that. Huge risk in that. Because, you know, they always, you know, it's so sweet, those couples, when they show them, because you'll know about it, they'll show them on the news, usually after the weather. And they'll tease the whole news bulletin after the weather. We've got something so sweet, don't we, Stacey? We know Stacey doesn't think it's sweet because we read in Women's Day she's been divorced 4 times. But when they finally show that elderly couple, they're both yay high and propped together on a couch. You just know someone placed them there. This isn't their natural state. They're sort of leaning into each other like this. And then they ask questions, but only the woman speaks. Because the man has no more words. He has used up his allocation over the years. That's why old men start grunting because they're not sure how many words they have left. Women, we know, we keep track of that shit. Your wife will borrow some of your words and then she'll give you some of hers. She'll just shove her words in your mouth. So you don't know how many you've actually used, so they try and limit the words. Still 4 words, fucko, you're dead soon. But then they'll ask that couple, they go, what's the secret to a happy and long marriage? And she'll look at him and look at the camera and go, it's never going to bed angry. And you're lying on the couch looking at your partner on the other couch going, well, that ship has sailed, hasn't it? We get another year, it's a lot. You know, the danger with that couple is he's going to die on Monday. She's going to go ahead and die on Wednesday. And people will romanticize that. They'll go, it's so romantic, she couldn't live without him. That's not what's happening. That bitch is stalking him. We have vows. We have a contract with each other that says, till death do us part. This poor guy gets into heaven. He's like, Jesus Christ. Hey, boys. How's it going? I've been married to the same bitch for 70... Hey, you're here. That was quick. I only just got here. It took them a day and a half for the paperwork. She's like, I know, I came in on your paperwork. Why? Our contract says till death do us part. Shoo! Go on, get! You don't like that? You're romanticizing it. I quickly want to tell you a side story because we don't have time for it. No. So my wife's grandmother, Phyllis, she's 96 years old, and she died in December, I know. 96 is a good age to get to, right? Yeah, as a cricket fan, I would have loved to have seen her get to 100. She played off the front foot all the time. Avoided a few LBWs, if you know what I mean. But 96 is a good age. She was born on the family farm. She was raised on the family farm. She had all her kids on the family farm. And then she died on the family farm at 96. But the minute she died, everyone was like, she's gone to be with Stanley, her late husband. Let me tell you about Stanley. I've never met Stanley. Because Stanley died suddenly from a massive heart attack at the age of 42 on the back paddock. They said he was dead before he hit the ground, right? Now, Stanley was a wildly attractive man. You know those people, when you see their photos, you're like... Like, it's just on the farm, like the wedding photo. You know, the normal old people photos, there's three. There's him with a young guy, a young man, in a button-down shirt, and then the wedding photo, and that was that. But I look at those photos, and I'm like, whew. You know when someone's so hot, you start questioning your choices? And then you remember being gay is not a choice. He was a wildly attractive man, prime of his life, then he dies, now he's in the prime of his death. So how it works when you die is you still look exactly the way you look now, you're just see-through. So if you, it's fact, like I'm not making this shit up. There's a documentary on Netflix, you can go watch it. It's called Casper. Some of you have seen it. No, so you still look exactly like you do now, you just see through. Some of you are sitting in here tonight and you go, I'm fat and ugly, I'm going to kill myself. Don't. Don't. Stay here, you're just going to be fat, ugly and see through on the other side. And they don't have biscuits for us there. Stay here, let's make skinny people uncomfortable. I have a little thing to entertain myself before I get on a long haul flight. When I walk into the plane and you see people, those skinny people watching them, no. I just go in there, I'm just in the middle there. I go, I'm fucking with you, I'm up in business. But anyway, so Stanley's dead. Now, he goes to heaven. And when you get to heaven, this is how it works. You get to heaven. And in heaven, they have all these pods, right? Like party pods. Like they've got the party pod. What? Everyone's making shit up about the place. Give me a go, all right? So you have the party pod where all the hot people go to party, right? Then next to it, you've got like the knitting pod. You've got the finger painting pod. Whatever you're into, there's a pod for you, okay? So Stanley gets to heaven and God says to him, Stanley, you're a wildly attractive man. You get to go in the party pod. And he goes, no thanks. Because he's read the articles. He's seen the things on telly. He knows he loved Phyllis so, and she loved him so, that she's going to be there any minute. And he says, nah, I'm going to wait for Phyllis. And God says, are you sure about that, Stanley? Because I've got a book in the back. I'm kind of running this joint. And Stanley goes, nah, I'm going to go ahead and wait. And God says to him, you do you, boo. As it says in Leviticus. And I haven't read the whole book. I'm sort of just loosely quoting here. So Stanley starts waiting. Yeah, I'm new. It's weird, I'm see-through here. He had a pie before. After a few years, he realizes Phyllis isn't coming. And he can hear the party pot is going off. Then he thinks, you know, Phyllis is a wildly attractive woman herself. She's probably remarried to get someone to help her with the kids. He then joins the party pod. And at this point, Stanley starts hammering ghost pussy. Like, no one has hammered ghost pussy in the history of ghost pussy. Right, he is going hammer and tongs, as they say. So one day there's an announcement. Stanley, can you come to the gate, please? That's Stanley to the pearly gates, thank you. So Stanley leaves the pod and he goes, hey! You keep that ghost pussy on ice for me, I'll be right back, all right? He gets to the pearly gates and who's there but Phyllis? He gets a fright naturally. She has shrunk 3 foot, I was like, holy shit, global warming is real. So Phyllis, who never remarried, never even removed her wedding bands, has waited for Stanley all these years, and she's ready to reconnect. She's frothing to reconnect. Stanley says to her, at ease, Phyllis. I've been hammering ghost pussy for decades. I'm not ready for fossil pussy just yet. So I guess all I'm saying is you can work at your relationship as much as you like, but as soon as your partner drops dead, he's going to be hammering ghost pussy in heaven. Or ghost dick. There's ghost dick too. And that looks bigger because it's see-through. And it's better when it's see-through because you can see it coming. Not going to surprise you in the eye with that one. I'm just saying relationships are hard. That's all I'm saying. I want you to answer this for yourself internally. Take this home. Would you, knowing what you know today, and with the path that you have walked in your marriage, would you get married again if you knew how often you'd be fighting about towels? I think every major argument in a marriage can be tracked back to towels. You think she's fighting about, you know, your spending or your... It's not that. It's because you left a towel on the floor. The amount of times it's yelled in a marriage, who used the good towels? Why are you using that towel? Don't use that, that's the dog's towel. Stop touching that towel. Pick up that towel. Why is this towel wet? Why is that towel too dry? Why does this towel smell like that? Why can I break this towel in half? There's so much. I am so triggered by towels. I'm not even lying. I have once seen a whole lot of towels in the dryer, and I told my wife that I had a gig out of town, and I left for the weekend in the hopes that she would sort it out before I got back. Because I can't handle the stress. And you're like, you're so tense. I start folding the towels, and she just walks past. That's not how we fold towels in this house. Like, my relationship's not perfect, you know, because I'm a touring comic, so I'm on the road about 300 days of the year, and we travel as a pack. So right in the beginning, my wife said to me she's scared of flying, which is a huge problem because that's how we do it. Because it's not 1912. But, you know, I'm nothing if not supported. So... what I would do, if I know we have a flight in the morning, I would go look up the safety specs of that plane. I would look up all of the details. I go, it's an ATR-72, it's the safest plane in their fleet. This is how many seats, this is the quietest seat, this is the one with the most recline, that's where the toilet's located. I even make shit up about the pilot. Because I don't know why they keep introducing themselves. They're not famous. No one gives a shit. No other job on the planet. You don't get to the supermarket and they go, welcome to checkout number 3. We've got Stacey here checking out today on the Olympus 3000. Now, the conveyor is running at roughly 0.0029 kilometres an hour. Yeah, your loyalty card don't mean shit. You want to sign up? Well, recently I flew to Dublin and they were real casual with the introduction of the pilots. They just came on and go, g'day, today, well, not with that accent. Today we've got Alana and Matthew flying into Dublin. And I looked around and not one person even lifted their heads off their phones that were supposed to be in flight mode at that time. I do all of that shit for her. I mean, not anymore. I've now recorded all of the audio notes. So before we get on a flight, I just airdrop her that shit. If you've got an Android phone, you're going to have to Google what that is. What she said to me, she goes, you know what, I'm not scared of flying. I'm scared of crashing. Yes. We all are. When we're in the nosedive into the fucking Pacific, no one's going, fuck yeah! We're going directly into a mountain. Fuck yeah! Matthew and Alana are getting it done today. No! We're all scared. That's why the brace position is this. So you can shit up your own back. That brace position is not a life-saving measure. You see people look at the cards and go, that's not going to help. They only want that. Because once the plane has crashed, there are people who have to go around after they've put out the fire to pick up body parts, right? And it's usually your teeth that's left. And they have to put that in a little baggage for testing. That's why you're doing it in the front, so they don't have to go sift through piles of shit for the teeth. The whole Boeing is not designed very well for a crash. Like, you know you're not going to survive. Like, quickly make some noise if you've survived a plane crash. Do you see what I'm saying? Why even bother with the safety features? We're going to fucking die. Let's make this shit fun. The first thing they say, like, you know, we're about to crash. What do they give? What drops down from above your head? Oxygen. You know what oxygen does for your brain? Wakes you the fuck up. It wakes you up. You have crystal clear thoughts. You can remember stuff. You can remember your own birth. You're so wide awake and so alert. My mum was right all these years. You're going to be wide awake when your anus slowly curls over your brainstem. I've applied for a job at Boeing because I reckon the first thing, if they know we're going to crash, there should be a button that pops out in the headdress in front of you. A little mouthpiece with, you know, that clay from the dentist that you have to bite into. So that when they retrieve that, they can just do it with those tongs that you see people... 27A never flossed a day in her life. Once that thing sets, then automatically from above you where the oxygen used to live, a bag of cocaine drops down. Yeah. Even if you've never tried cocaine in your life, shove your whole head in that bag and inhale. You're still gonna die, but fuck, you're gonna believe in yourself. Guys, we've got this! Hit it, Alana and Matthew, let's go! But then she said to me, she goes, look, it's not the crashing even that frightens me. I'm like, fuck, all right, what's left? It's not the cuisine. She goes, it's that bit when you're flying and you must realize this plane is going to crash till when it actually impacts. She goes, that can be seconds, it can be minutes, we don't know because no one's alive to talk about it. But she goes, that's the thing that scares me. That is my darkest moment. That's the thing that gives me anxiety, that gives me panic attacks. And then she asked me to do something, and I'm going to share it with you now, and it's going to sound weird when it hits your ear holes. But just push through and sit with it, okay? She made me promise. She said, if we're ever on a plane together and we realize this plane is about to crash, she goes, I want you to kill me. I told you it's going to hit weird. But hear it. When I heard that, I thought, wow. She trusts me, the person that she loves most in the world. This is before we had children. Now she'll use me as a human shield at a Costco sale. But she trusts me enough that when she's in her darkest moment that I will remove her from that. And I thought that was really romantic. Initially. But then it hit me. I'm on that plane too. But I don't get to experience any terror because I've got one more fucking chore to do. It got to a point we can fly domestic, like we'll fly Sydney to Melbourne. As soon as I get on the plane, I start making a shiv. We hit a bit of turbulence. I've already stabbed her twice. She's like, I'm not even scared, it's just turbulence. I'm like, die, bitch, die! So we got a divorce. Yeah, we were one of the statistics during COVID. We didn't make it through. We divorced. Don't worry, we're lesbians, we're still best friends. We still share the Labrador, we never fucking let go. We know the amount of training we put into a partner. We keep them. We can introduce them to someone down the track. But I did what many of us do when you go through, something as traumatic as your marriage ending. I got a personal trainer. Yeah, it didn't take. It doesn't work for everyone. It's like aspirin. For some people it really works, others it doesn't even touch the sides. I struggled with this kid because he became obsessed with me. Like he was honestly obsessed. And he kept calling me champ, which was confusing for me. Every day he's like, hey champ, how much water did you drink today? I'm like, 2 liters. I mean, I didn't, but I read that somewhere. And I'd be so happy about it, and I couldn't help myself. Yeah. And then he goes, that's amazing, champ. Let's try for 5 tomorrow. I'm like, okay. And then the next day he's like, hey, champ, how much water did you have? I go, 10 liters. He's like, that's phenomenal work. Let's try for 50 tomorrow. Okay. Next day, how much water, champ? I go, I fell in a water tanker. And I drank my way out. He's like, that's phenomenal. Let's try for 2 water tankers tomorrow. Like how much water I'm drinking and how much I'm sleeping. Every time he'd see me, go, did you sleep? Did you get some shut-eye? Did you get any sleep? How much did you sleep last night? Did you sleep well? Are you rested? I'm like, who the fuck is sleeping? I'm up all night pissing. Mate, you have to decide. It's either water or sleep, but I can't do both. Because now I'm up in the middle of the night having a panic attack, eating a sleeve of Tim Tams. But I knew it wasn't going to work out with me and him because one day after a particularly vigorous workout, he said to me, just to try and get me up off the ground, he goes, Ursh, I want you to remember that the dopamine hit that you get after a workout is bigger and higher than the dopamine hit you get after sex. And in that moment, I knew this kid doesn't know how to fuck. I said, get out of my house. I said, mate, I cannot be skinny and bad at sex. I'd rather be fat and good at sex. You cannot, I cannot. Like, you have to, like, deliver. You know. Just think about this for a second, and sorry to get all deep and meaningful on this, but, you know, your body is your home. This is where I spend all of my time. All of it is in here. Much like my home is my home. You know, and I have children, so it is a messy home. Now, if you know people who have children, but they have a tidy home, they are crate training those children. There's no way you can have both. You cannot have children in a tidy house. There's some abuse happening. I'm sorry. Okay? You have to let those kids in the house at some fucking point. But when people come over to your house, they see the mess, you go, excuse the mess, blooming kids. But then you get them inside, you make them feel welcome, you give them something to eat. They no longer see the mess, do they? No. And it's the same with your body. The first time someone sees you naked, you go, excuse the mess. Blooming kids. But then once you let them inside and give them something to eat, they don't see the mess anymore. Brisbane, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.